It's late summer, 717 AD, and the Dromon cuts through the cold waters of the Sea of Marmara. Wind fills the triangular sail. Below deck, 100 oars move in rhythm, the rowers grunting with each stroke. The ship is Byzantine, a war galley, sleek and fast, built for one purpose: to kill. On the forward deck stands a bronze siphon mounted on a rotating base. It looks like a dragon's head, mouth open, waiting to breathe. But not yet. The crew is tense. 30 sailors in leather and mail, gripping weapons, checking ropes. At the stern, the captain, a man named Costas, 40 years old, scarred from a dozen sea battles, watches the horizon. His hand rests on the tiller. His eyes never blink. Ahead, the horizon is black with ships. Not 10, not 50, hundreds, maybe 1,000. The Umayyad Caliphate's invasion fleet came to conquer Constantinople and end the Byzantine Empire forever. Their sails block out the morning light. Their hulls crowd the water like a wooden wall stretching from shore to shore.
800 ships.
Costas says quietly to his first mate.
Maybe more.
The first mate, a younger man named Theodoros, swallows hard. He's fought before, but never against odds like this.
And we have how many?
Enough.
Costas says.
If we're fast, if we're smart, if God favors us.
The Dromon is part of Emperor Leo III's forward attack line. 20 ships against 1,000. The mission is not to fight a large-scale battle. They can't. The mission is to break through, get close to the transport vessels and destroy them. Destroy the food. Destroy the supplies. Destroy the siege equipment. Without those, the massive Arab army camped outside Constantinople's walls will starve. Theodoros looked at the bronze siphon on the forward deck. He then asks Costas.
They say this thing can tear a ship apart, but no one knows how it works.
Costas doesn't answer immediately.
Once, up close, it was something else. Like the metal came alive. But it only works when you're nearly on top of them. Any farther, and it's just smoke and noise.
But getting close means sailing directly into the heart of that fleet. It means arrows, spears, catapult stones. It means the rowers below deck, trapped, unable to escape if the ship goes down. It means death is more likely than survival. The Umayyad Caliphate has already conquered Syria, Egypt, North Africa, Spain. Now they want the jewel, Constantinople, the greatest city in the Christian world. If it falls, Europe is next. But the Byzantines have something no one else has. A weapon so terrifying that Arab chroniclers will write about it with horror for centuries. And today, it will be used. 3 months earlier, in the spring of 717, the Umayyad Caliphate assembled the largest invasion fleet the Mediterranean had ever seen. 800 to 1,000 ships, war galleys, transports, supply vessels. They carried an army of 80,000 men, siege towers, catapults, enough food for a year-long siege. The Caliph's commanders were confident. They had crushed Byzantine armies on land. They had taken city after city. Constantinople, isolated and weakened, would fall within months. The fleet sailed north, unstoppable, a wooden wall of conquest. Byzantine Emperor Leo III watched from the walls of Constantinople as the enemy fleet arrived. He was a soldier emperor, a man who'd fought his way to the throne. He knew the city couldn't survive a prolonged siege without breaking the supply line. And the supply line was that fleet. Leo called his naval commanders to the palace. The meeting was brief. There wasn't time for anything else. The men stood around a small map table, the city walls drawn in ink, the enemy fleet marked in red.
We won't match their numbers,
Leo said, tapping the coastline.
so we strike where they don't expect it.
One of the commanders hesitated.
Your Majesty, 10 to 1 is still 10 to 1.
Leo looked up.
Which is why we use what they don't have.
Another officer nodded slowly.
Greek fire.
Leo confirmed.
Greek fire. And the wind. If it holds, we hit them fast and vanish before they can form up. No hesitation.
The officers exchanged quick, tense looks that showed both fear and determination. The Byzantine navy was outnumbered 10-1, but they had one advantage: Greek fire. And they had the wind. Greek fire was the Byzantine Empire's most closely guarded secret. The formula was known only to a handful of men. It was a liquid mixture, probably naphtha, quicklime, sulfur, and other chemicals, that burned even on water, and when people tried to extinguish it with water, the flames only spread further. It stuck to wood, to cloth, to flesh. It burned through ships like the wrath of God. The Byzantines had mounted bronze siphons on their dromons, pump-driven tubes that could spray the burning liquid in a jet up to 30 feet. The siphons were shaped like dragon heads, because that's what the fire looked like, a dragon's breath. The Arab commanders had heard rumors of this weapon, but most dismissed them as propaganda. Fire? On water? Impossible. And even if it existed, how dangerous could it really be? They were about to find out. Byzantine captains prepared their ships. They drilled their crews. They practiced the pumping rhythm needed to fire the siphon, one man operating the pressure mechanism, another aiming, a third ready with the next canister of the burning mixture. Timing was everything. Get too close and arrows would kill the crew before they could fire. Stay too far and the fire wouldn't reach. The window was narrow. And there was another problem: the wind. Greek fire worked best when fired downwind, so the flames would spread toward the enemy. Fire upwind, and the flames might blow back onto your own ship. So the Byzantines waited for the wind to shift, waited for the perfect moment. That moment was coming. The dromon moves closer to the enemy fleet. The Arab ships are clustered tight, their transport vessels heavy with cargo, unable to maneuver quickly. Perfect targets. But between them and the Byzantines, a screen of Arab war galleys, armed and ready. The Byzantine dromon holds the windward advantage. The southwest wind is at their backs, pushing them forward. But the enemy sees them coming now. Shouts echo across the water in Arabic. Drums beat. War galleys turn to intercept.
Archers!
Costas shouts.
Shields up!
Byzantine sailors raise their shields as the first volley of Arab arrows arcs through the air. The arrows slam down, sticking into the wood and clattering off shields. One arrow finds a gap. A sailor cries out, an arrow through his shoulder. He's dragged below deck. The ship doesn't slow. The dromon's own archers return fire. Arrows streak toward the nearest Arab galley. Men fall, but more arrows come back. It's a deadly exchange, and the Byzantines are outnumbered. A catapult on one of the larger Arab ships fires. A stone the size of a man's head whistles through the air and smashes into the dromon's mast. Wood splinters. A rope snaps. The mast holds, but barely.
Rowers! Double time!
Costas orders. Below deck, the rowing master beats his drum faster. The rowers pull harder, sweat pouring down their faces, muscles screaming. The ship accelerates. An Arab galley tries to ram them from the side. Theodoros sees it coming.
Port side! Collision!
Costas spins the tiller hard. The dromon turns just enough. The Arab ship's ram misses by feet. The two ships scrape past each other, so close the crews can see each other's faces. Grappling hooks fly from the Arab ship. Byzantine sailors hack at the ropes with axes before the ships lock together. One hook holds. Costas draws his sword and severs the rope himself. The ships separate, but the dromon has taken damage. A section of the railing is smashed. Two rowers are dead from arrow wounds. The mast is cracked. And they're not even on the transport ships yet.
How much further?
Theodoros shouts over the noise. Costas looks ahead. The transport vessels are close now, 100 yards, packed tightly together because they're too heavy to spread out. He can see the crates stacked on their decks, food, weapons, siege equipment, everything the Arab army needs to take Constantinople.
Close enough!
Costas says.
Prepare the siphon! Ready the fire!
The crew at the forward deck springs into action. Two men lift a heavy bronze canister, sealed, sloshing with the Greek fire mixture inside. They connect it to the siphon's base. A third man, the pump operator, grips the wooden handle. The aiming operator adjusts the dragonhead nozzle, pointing it toward the enemy transports. This is the moment. Everything depends on the next 60 seconds.
Wait for my command!
Costas shouts.
Wait until we're in range!
The Arab fleet sees the dromon cutting toward the transports. They realize the danger. More war galleys move to intercept. Arrows thicken the air. A Byzantine sailor takes an arrow to the chest and falls overboard without a sound. Another arrow hits the sail, tearing a hole. 80 feet to the transports. A catapult fires. The stone crashes into the water beside the dromon, sending up a massive spray. If it had hit, the ship would have shattered. 60 feet. Another Arab galley rams them. This time there's no avoiding it. The impact throws men to the deck. Wood splinters. The dromon's bow crumples slightly. But the ship is still moving, still pushing forward. The Arab galley is tangled with them now, crews shouting, trying to board. Byzantine sailors fight them off with swords and spears. Blood runs across the deck. 30 feet to the transports. Costas roars. The pump operator throws his weight against the handle. The mechanism groans. Pressure builds inside the bronze canister. The Greek fire mixture is forced through the tube, through the dragon's mouth, and out into the air. And then, the world catches fire. A jet of liquid flame erupts from the siphon, bright orange, roaring like a living thing. It arcs through the air and splashes across the deck of the nearest transport ship. The moment it hits, it ignites. Flames explode across the wood, spreading instantly. The fire doesn't behave like normal fire. It's liquid, flowing, sticking to everything it touches. Men scream. The entire transport is engulfed in seconds.
Again!
Costas shouts.
Hit the next one!
The siphon crew adjusts their aim. Another pump, another jet of flame. The second transport catches fire, then a third. The fire spreads from ship to ship. They're packed so tightly that the flames jump the gaps. Arab sailors try to throw water on the fires, but the water makes it worse. The Greek fire floats on the surface, burning even on the sea itself. Men jump overboard to escape and find themselves swimming through flames. The Arab fleet descends into chaos. Transport ships are burning. The smoke is thick and black, choking. Ships try to pull away but crash into each other in the panic. More flames spread. The entire center of the fleet is ablaze, the fire consuming wood, canvas, and cargo. The siege supplies that were meant to starve Constantinople are burning to ash. Arab commanders scream orders, but no one can hear over the roar of the flames and the screams of dying men. Their war galleys try to fight back, but the Byzantine dromon is already pulling away. Mission accomplished. Other Byzantine ships are doing the same, darting in, unleashing Greek fire, retreating before the enemy can respond. It's not a battle, it's a slaughter. This is exactly how Theophanes the Confessor and the Arab chronicler Al-Tabari describe it. The Byzantine fleet, outnumbered 10-1, using speed, wind, and Greek fire to break the Arab supply line. The Umayyad fleet loses dozens of transport ships that day, maybe more. The exact number is lost to history, but the result is not. Without those supplies, the Arab army besieging Constantinople begins to starve. Summer turns to autumn, autumn turns to winter. The winter of 717 to 718 is brutal, cold. The Arab soldiers, used to the deserts of Arabia and the warmth of Syria, freeze in their camps outside the city walls. Disease spreads. Thousands die. The siege army starts to disintegrate. In the spring of 718, the Caliph orders the retreat. The remaining fleet tries to sail home, but Byzantine dromons harass them all the way. Storms finish what Greek fire started. Of the 1,000 ships that came to conquer Constantinople, fewer than half made it back to Syria. The Umayyad Caliphate loses tens of thousands of men. Their expansion into Europe is stopped. The Byzantine Empire survives. Constantinople will stand for another 700 years, and the weapon that saved it, Greek fire, remains so secret that to this day, historians still don't know the exact formula. The Byzantines guarded it so carefully that when the empire finally fell in 1453, the secret died with it. We know it burned on water. We know it couldn't be extinguished. We know it terrified everyone who faced it. And we know that on a late summer day in 717 AD, a handful of Byzantine dromons used it to break an invasion fleet 1,000 ships strong. Spring, 718 AD. The walls of Constantinople still stand. The city is battered but alive. Citizens return to their homes, markets reopen, church bells ring. Emperor Leo III stands on the sea walls, watching the last Arab ships disappear over the southern horizon. The siege is over. Byzantium has won. Kostas, the dromon captain, survived. So did Theodoros. Their ship was badly damaged in the fighting, but it made it home. They stand on the dock now, watching workers repair the dromon's hull. The bronze siphon, scorched and dented, still sits on the forward deck.
Will we need it again?
Theodoros asks. Kostas looks out at the empty sea.
Someday, someone will always try to take this city. But they'll remember what happened to the last fleet that came here. They'll remember the fire.
And they did. For centuries afterward, Arab chroniclers wrote about Greek fire with a mixture of awe and horror. They called it Roman fire, sea fire, liquid fire. They described it as a weapon that burned ships and men alike, that couldn't be stopped, that seemed like sorcery. Some claimed the Byzantines had made a pact with demons. Others said it was divine punishment for attacking God's chosen city. If this tale of survival and secret fire amazed you, just wait. 16 English ships once took on 70 French war galleys with pure nerve and one reckless plan. Click on it, and we'll see you soon with another forgotten medieval story.